Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to be with you. My name is Faris Alami. I'm the host of Startup Grind Detroit, and welcome, everyone. I'm really excited today to have a guest with us who happens to be in person this time. We usually do this via Zoom, but this time we thought, well, let's do it in person. So it'll give you a little bit different flavor. And I'm really excited to have this discussion about her personal journey of starting a business. So with that, Jimena will walk us through her personal journey. So first of all, thank you for being with us. Again, Jimena, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. I am really glad to be here.
Yeah, and I'm sure our audiences would love to hear a lot of things from you. We'll start maybe you could tell them who you are and what you do.
Yes, of course. Well, my name is Jimena Solís. I am from Costa Rica, Central America. And I have a digital marketing agency. And I have been here on this business about 3 years.
Very cool. 3 years.
Yes.
So
years.
I'm gonna say that you're still in the grind because I mean, usually I tell people the first 7 years is a lot of grind. Not that it'll ever stop, but that's the first 7 years. So tell me, walk me through this startup. You've been doing it for 3 years. What did you do before?
I am journalist. I
Okay.
studied journalism, yes, and I work with many companies like on the communication and marketing department. So I worked there like 8 years. Then, unfortunately, pandemic came and my work stopped. Everything stopped. So I start like from zero. And I remember that one time I was talking with my husband about the situation. I was working on a job, but I was not feeling okay there. So I was talking with him and he told me, Jimena, when you find something that you are passionate for, your life will change. So I remember that I started thinking about all the jobs that I had before. And I remember the one that I was working with Kimberly-Clark. This is a big company that makes like products like paper towel and
Okay. Yeah,
this
of
kind
course.
of like products. There I work for the communication department. So I loved that job. I remember that I love like to help people how to communicate better what they were doing on the company. So I thought, well, what I can do with that. And that is the reason why I started with my digital marketing agency.
Very cool. So it sounds
It was on 2021, but we were still on the environment of COVID. We're recovering, exactly.
very interesting. Wow. So I'm curious. I mean, starting a business, as you know, it has a lot of grind.
Yes.
So maybe you could share with us how you overcome some of that. Like, how did you get your even first client?
Okay. I remember that I started like, well, first with social media because it was like the cheapest option and because I knew that many of the people that I wanted to help, because that was another topic. Okay, I knew that I wanted a digital marketing agency, but now I needed to know which public I was going to work with. So I started thinking, and I love how COVID make that many people start entrepreneurs. So I saw there like an opportunity, and also I felt that many digital agencies work like with big companies, and this is a public that it is like less forgotten. So I don't remember about them. So I said, no, I want to work with them. And that is the reason why I started like searching this kind of public. So my first client, it was a woman that made some skincare products.
Okay.
And I told her she didn't have many money. So I told her, okay, don't worry, let's do something. You pay me a little bit and you give me product. Give me about your product. So we made it in that way, like in that way.
Yeah.
Yes, I helped her and she helped me. And that was like the beginning. I remember that the second client was an architecture. And again, it was really difficult because I didn't have like experience to show or something like that. So it was incredible. But well, thank God I am here and I am still working with many customers.
Very cool. What a journey. So, because I mean, from my perspective, a lot of times when you have you work with big companies and you go on your own, I call it, there's a culture shock
Yes.
of, first of all, there's no team, right?
Mhm.
The team becomes you. So you're the team of the 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever you had, as well as the social dialogue that you normally would have with the different coworkers or different departments or different things, all disappear.
Mhm.
So walk me through what was some of the process that you took to, maybe you never thought about it. I don't know. What did you do to make sure that you continued despite the fact that you were missing these components?
Okay. I knew that I wanted to do something by myself.
Okay.
So that is like the biggest goal that I had. And that is the reason why, even though obviously being an entrepreneur is really difficult, because as you told me, we have to work by ourselves and we have to do everything. But I was really, I feel passionate about what I do. So that is the reason why, even though it is sometimes crazy, I found a way to do it. And I try to get many learnings that I got on those jobs
Okay.
to apply them to my customers. So again, when I was working at Kimberly Clark, and I work, like, to give you an example, with the medicine department. So I work like if they were a little company inside of the company. So I was used like to that. And many times they told me, Jimena, it's because the communicate they ignore us. We are not like on the big pages of communication of the company. And so I helped them like to improve that, and they felt like really empowerment with this. And so it was like the transition. Yes, it was not difficult. It was great.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So now that you got your clients, it's been, 3 years or so that you've been doing it. Walk me through like how you can meet these clients. What's the process of getting them? How long does it take you? Does it take you a month? Does it take you 3 months? Does it take you 2 years?
Okay.
How long does it stay with you, right?
Well, it depends. There are some customers that unfortunately they are like on a really they are really beginning and like on a stage that they don't have like the enough budget to be contracting my services all the months. So sometimes it is like a contract that it is 1 month and then they leave a little bit and then they come back, like that. Other ones, they are like more on economic they feel like better, like in an economic stage, so they are able like to continue like contracting my services. But what I try to do is like to be with really communicated with them. I mean that they don't see me only like the person that handles the social media. Like they look me like an advisor, that if they need any help. To give you an example, I have a customer that she told me, okay, Jimena, I need to make a letter because I want to be able to be part of a fair at Costa Rica. So I need to be able to like to gain that space there. So I helped her to make the letters. So even though it was not like something related specifically with the service that I was giving to her, I tried to that them feel confident with me. And
Okay.
that way they can help me with that. Then um right now I have a database of more than 1,400 entrepreneurs at Costa Rica, and I try like to contact them every month, one time per month, because I don't want it like to be annoying them. So they know that one time per month I send them a message like with some information about marketing or
Sure.
any like workshop maybe that I will give. So in that way I keep in touch, because I know that what it is important is to be on top of mind of people. So if I am like keeping communicating with them,
Yep.
there will be an opportunity where they will say, oh, I remember her, I will ask her for her services.
Yeah, and as you know, from my perspective, power of seven touches, it takes that long sometimes to get that customer.
Yes.
Very cool. So, I mean, some people might look at that 1,400 and say, not much. Some people might look at it and say, that's a lot. Walk me through how you've been able to maintain to continue to build this list of 1,400 people.
Okay, well, in this case, obviously because I am on the digital marketing field, I use a lot social media, and I used a lot, well, the advertisement that we have available on Facebook and Instagram. So they contact me there, and I save always the numbers. And if I am at activities like different entrepreneurs fairs or something like that, I try to catch numbers there. So that is a way how I create the database.
It's great. Love it. So you have a system that you created to capture these things.
Exactly.
And you're finding ways to stay in touch with them.
Yes.
It sounds like, you know, things are great. So my question is, when was your first hire?
What do you mean with
the first person you hired from on your team to be helping you?
Okay.
Or subcontracted, or whatever you would done.
Okay, well, I have to be honest with you. Right now, it is a one person
show.
So
Okay, that's good.
I am still
Still
one
a grind.
person.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I am being part of an exchange that it is called the Young Leaders of America's Initiative.
Okay.
That it is made by Department of State.
Okay.
So I had to move from Costa Rica here at Detroit. That is the reason why I'm here. Yeah. For this, I took someone temporarily to help me with WhatsApp because I wanted someone to be able to have them calm and attended, but don't depend on me. Okay. So that is like the only temporal contract that I am doing right now, but I hope to grow.
That's okay. So walk me through this one person that you contracted. How did you find them? What did you, because that's from my perspective, you know, even finding that person is a grind, right? So because you have to find them, figure out how they work with you, agree on a price, all those things. So
yes, of course.
I don't need the details, obviously. I'm just asking about, you know, the grind that you went through to find them.
Okay, well, in this case, I needed someone that I can trust because it was a quickly process. So I took the decision of having one person with me like 1 month before coming here. So I needed someone that was really that I felt confident about this person. So I asked a family member.
Okay.
And I trained her.
Okay.
About the main topics, about what is the kind of services that I offer and what are the prices, the rates and everything. And then I was able to give her the WhatsApp 1 week earlier that I traveled. So in that way, she was able to work on it, but having me there supporting.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is the way how it works.
That's great. Yeah. And I asked that because I mean, I know that a lot of times your first hire is a lot of times someone you know. Right, yes. Because it's the trust factor. Yes. It's wanting to make sure that they do what you want them to.
Exactly.
So, and this is why I ask, because I'm hoping that some of the people listening to us or tuning in today understand that it's just part of the journey, it's part of the struggle, it's part of the process. Of course, if you had all the money, you probably would not have done that, right? You would have hired the qualified person, done the interview thing, and so on and so forth, which maybe one day you will, right?
Yes.
So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, what do you envision with what you're doing today? Where you want to be maybe in 5 or 10 years from now?
Okay.
Or even next year this time?
Well, I would like to be like the reference agency for entrepreneurs. So when they think on digital marketing, that they immediately think about me. So I am trying to work really hard, to be part of associations or groups of entrepreneurs, and in that way they can know me. I will love to open a social program because I know that being an entrepreneur is not easy and beginnings are not easy at all. So I know that there are many entrepreneurs that they will love to grow, but they don't have enough budget to invest in marketing. So I would love to have a social program to help them on those beginnings. And in that way, they will have budget available to be able to make marketing. And when they are on the point, on the way that they can continue paying for it, they will be able to do it.
Got it.
So I will love that. Also, I love to teach. I love to share the knowledge that I have. So I would love to have a kind of master classes or kind of training programs to help them in the marketing field.
Love it. That's great. Sounds like you got a lot of plans.
Yes. And also I would love to work with government. That is a great customer. So I would love to do it.
In what way? Doing the social media?
Yes.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Have you done that before?
No, on government, no. never.
That's
Yes, it's because at Costa Rica it's not so easy. We have like to follow some steps to be able to sell our services to the government. So I am still on the process to do it.
interesting.
Yes.
That's great. Well, it sounds, it's a lot happening. I'm curious to know now that the further we're talking into this, I'm curious to know how are you using your journalism background in your business today, if any?
Yes. I think that the way that I am more applying journalism is in the communication skills.
Okay.
Because I try like to extract information and change it. Well, when we work on journalism, obviously we always tell about you have to make a message that everyone will be able to understand it. It doesn't matter if you work in, I don't know, in any like level, or if you are a CEO of a company, the all will understand it. And that is really important. And with my customers, even though each one of them have their own public, sometimes there is a like a big range of people that you have to include. So that is like the main thing that I can say that I can apply from journalism to my journey. And also that I like to make a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So when I am like knowing a customer, I like to ask a lot what is the objective that they have, what they would like to do, everything. And I think that journalism has helped me a lot, like to be able to make that.
That sounds great. That sounds great. And with that added, one of the things from just listening to you, it sounds like, from the journalism perspective, I called you went with the evidence-based communications and simplifying it. Thought it helped you or still helping you through the messaging of how you work with these entrepreneurs.
Yes, of course. That is really important also. And I think that the confidence that they feel with me, because the way that I communicate many times help them like to understand better what I am trying to do. Unfortunately, there are many gurus or people that says that knows a lot of marketing and that are saying, unfortunately, lies to the people.
So,
So something that I try to be always is really honest. So many times I have to tell my customers, I understand that that is what you dream. I understand that that is what you will like, but we have to be honest, that will not happen from night to day. We have to work. And
yeah,
yes, that is
interesting. Great. And then thank you for sharing that, by the way. A lot of times do look for those, I call them quick wins or quick runs. And the reality is, of course, they do happen, but it's just not the typical situation.
Yes.
So people always like the exceptions, they don't like the rules.
That is correct.
So is there anything you would like to share with the people with us today about your personal journey getting, starting with the business? Are there any other grinds that you feel are important to communicate?
Yes, of course. Well, first, as I told you, my beginning was because I was not feeling okay on the job that I was, and I searched for something that I felt passion for. So I think that that is really important. Many times, it's something like the people hear a lot. You have to feel passion, but it is something really rare. I'm sorry, real. If you don't feel passion, any like obstacle that you have, it will let you go down.
Sure.
So if you are an entrepreneur, you have to be fighting every day, and you will have bad days. That is completely normal. There will be days that you will say, oh no, I will close this. This is not working. But what it is important again is that if you feel passion, you will have the energy like to, okay, this was not a good day. You go to sleep, and the next day you woke up and you say, okay, I will continue. There is a reason outside that I am doing this and I have to continue. So feeling passion for it will help you a lot. Also, I think that having like people around you that support you is really important. Because sometimes, again, we will have difficult moments. So if you have people that it is around you that tell you, come on, you can do it, let's continue, you are able, that will help you a lot. And if you have other entrepreneurs, it's great, because in that way, they will understand you.
Yeah.
So when you say I don't feel okay, or I am not selling what I am expecting, or I have a lot of things to pay and I don't know how to do it, that is things that all entrepreneurs understand. So if you have those people there, you will feel better.
That's great insight, actually, because yeah, a lot of times you think you're the only one. And when you talk to people, you're like, oh, I'm actually the only one that's in a better spot. But of
Exactly.
course, you're the old one, thinking you're the only one in the bad spot.
Exactly.
That's great. Well, Jimena, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for tuning in and being with us as well with the Startup Grind. It's always interesting to hear the stories of the entrepreneurs and their journey and the grind that they face and how they could continue to overcome it. For those joining, thanks for being here. My name is Faris Salmi. Today we have Jimena, and this is Startup Grind Detroit. Thank you.